Hello and welcome to today's webinar on herd reporting. So if you have any questions during the webinar, please feel free to type them in and we will address these. So first of all, what we're going to go through is the stock check report. So to find your stock check report, if you go to the cow's head and then into herd, you've got stock check here, number 4. If we click on that one, that'll open up, and what this will show you is all the stock that's currently on your farm, and it breaks them down by animal type and by their age. So here we've got the over 6 months, and it tells us that there's a total number of 4 animals in that category, and then the beef 3 to 6, male beef, and then the 0 to 3. Can minimize these sections, and then we've got the over 15 months PD minus inseminated and open dairy heifers, and so on, and it gives us all the numbers of the totals at the bottom there. Here you've got the overall amount of animals that are currently in your stock check. When you go into properties at the bottom right, you can select a specific date to do a stock check on. So if we go to the 4th of July, here currently we've got 354. And if we go to the 4th of July, it's gone down to 353 as we had less animals on that date. And it tells us who were on farm on that date. That accounts for those 353. You can print this off like you can with most reports by clicking on the print preview. And if you go to the summary button, what that will do is it will show you each category of animal type and age, and it will just give you an overview of how many animals are in each group there. So that's just a quick look at overviewing what aged animals you have in what animal type. So if we close that one, and then I will show you your animal movements. So if we go to the cow's head and then herd, you've got animal movements here, number 6. If we click on the animal movements, this gives you all the animal movements that have happened, and to select the date range that you want to have a look at, go into properties again. You can do a custom date range, or you can look per year. So if we have a look at 2019 and press OK, this will tell us all the animals that were on the farm at the start of that time frame. On the birth tab, it will tell us all the animals that were born in that year or the time frame that you have selected. All the purchases that were made, the sales, any deaths that were recorded, and your transfers, and then finally we have the end here, so all the animals that were there at the end of the year. And again, you have got a summary here. If we go into the summary, it just gives you an overview of the figures and what their PD, their figures, and also if they were PD positive here, and it gives you the animal breakdown again here like you had with the stock check. So we do get some calls about where you can find your movement book, and I'll show you where to find that now. So to find your movement book, if you go into the cow's head and then herd, you've got the herd register here, number 2. So if you go into your herd register, it gives you a list of all the animals here and when they were on the farm. In your properties, again, you can change the date range that you're looking at. Then if you go into print preview, what you get here is your movement book. We can see at the bottom left here, we've got 31 pages. To look through your movement book, you've got this green arrow at the top left, and that's how you can turn all the pages in your PDF view that we're currently in. And to skip to the last page, you can just press the blue arrow there, and vice versa to go back pages. But that's how you would find your movement book in the print preview, and that's in herd register. So cow's head, herd register, and then you've got your print preview there. So if you do have any questions about your print preview and your movement book, do give us a call, and we can go through any of those queries with you. Now, we have covered Report Writer before on a previous webinar, and I will go through Report Writer again now. That's just in case anything in the stock check where we've got that breakdown of the animals and their ages here. If there's something that you want to pull in particular that isn't covered here in the stock check, I'll show you how you can make a report writer, and then you can narrow that down to something that you want in particular. So if we close this screen and then go to the cow's head and into herd, this is where you can find your report writer. Don't forget any of these that we've covered today. If it's something that you want to access easily, you can just right click, add them to the toolbar, and then they will appear at the top here. And then it will just be a case wherever you are in the program of just clicking on them, and it will take you directly there. So if we go to cow's head, herd, report writer, what we're going to do is create a report. So to add a new report, you've got this green plus button here at the top. So if you press the plus button, what it will do then is give you a list of all the items that you can display on a report. So if we go to all and we want the animal number, what we can do is just type in there animal number, and it will come up with all the matches to what I've wrote in the top bar there. So we want the animal number on there, so we're gonna make sure that's highlighted in blue and just move that over into the selected column. So this selected column here on the right hand side, this is every item that will appear on your report writer. So I also want the ear tag, so I'm clicking back in that top bar and just typing ear tag, and it's just a quick way of finding exactly what you want instead of scrolling through the list. And again, I'm just going to move that over into my selected column. What I also want on my report is the date of birth. So I'm just typing the first letters of birth there, and it's just finding that match there for me automatically. It's highlighted in blue, so I'm just going to move that over to the right hand side as well. I also want the animal's breed in this report, so again, same thing, just move that over to the right. And I would like the sire. So I've just typed in sire there, and I'm going to put the sire's name in there because I want to see the animal's details and also who their sire was. But I'm going to filter this report on age in months. So I'm going to type months in here, and here we have age in months, which is a filter. So because that's what I want this report to be pulled against, the animal's age in months, I'm going to move that over, and these are all the items that will be in my report. So I've got the animal number, ear tag, date of birth, breed, the sire, and the age in months. You can change the order that these appear in on your report. So if you wanted it to start with the ear tag, you can just select that and move that to the top. And you can move the animal number to the bottom if you wish. It's up to you, whatever's easiest for you to read. And then go to next. Now, filter, this is how you want to filter out those animals. So at the moment, we've got 174 animals that match all of these items here. But we don't want 174 animals to appear. I specifically want to pull this report based on animals that are under 7 months old. So when I go to next, I'm going to filter on the age in months. So again, I need to find age in months and press OK. And now I've got a filter here. And then here there is a drop down. So I'm just clicking in that box and there's a drop down. And because I want to see who's younger than 17 months, I can select equal to or lower than. I can do it between. So if I wanted to do between like 6 and 8 months, I can select between, or you can find out animals that are equal to 7 months. And this is how this would work here. So if I do equal to or lower than, as you can see, this has gone blank now to 0. And then here I'm going to put in the relevant number, so 7. So age in months and equal to or lower than 7. Now, no animals are appearing to match, but that's fine, and I'll show you why. If you want to add another filter, such as the sex, if you did press that plus sign, you can add more filters in there. And select sex, and then you could do equal to, say, female. But I'm not going to have that filter on this one. So I'm going to take that one off, and we're just going to filter on 7 months or lower than. Press next again, and then you need to put a name in for your report. So equal, I can't spell that, 7 months and lower, and then press next. And then we need to select the animal type. So as you can see, we've got number of animals 0, and young stock is not selected, which is why that's 0. We're only filtering, by the looks of it, on dairy cows that are calf, first, second, calvers or cows. Now, if I tick young stock, we're going to hopefully see some figures. There we go, 46. If you wanted to pull a report on historic animals, you can do, and you can tick the historic. So we're looking at dairy cows that are 7 months and lower, so unticking these has no relevance on the number of animals shown here. And then press finish, and as we can see, we've now pulled a report. We've got the animal number, the ear tag, date of birth, breed, the sire, and the age that they are currently in months here. These columns can be sorted just by clicking on them. So if you want to do descending or ascending, you can do that. What you will notice on this report is only one of the sires seems to be here. The reason for that is if we double click on this animal, it will take us into the animal record. If we go to the pedigree tab, this animal has got a sire against them. If we go back to our report writer and have a look at this animal, for example, double click on that one, it will take us into the animal record. Pedigree, there's no sire there. So if you are pulling a report and you find that the data's a bit missing, it's not the report, it is the actual animal record that hasn't got that data there. At the bottom here, it gives you like an overview of the averages of the breed. So here we've got 89% that are Holstein Friesian, and then so on. So it breaks it down here. This 46 here, this is the number of animals in total that there are. And if you have your report there, you will find that it's been saved. So what you can do is that report will always be there, and as these animals get older than 7 months, they'll automatically drop off of this report, and as soon as animals are born, they'll start falling on this report. So it will constantly update. You can edit a report that you've made just by clicking on the pencil icon, and if, for example, you also wanted to put in there the dam's name, you can just put that in and add that into, or the dam's ear tag, you can just add that into your report here. So you have that freedom. So that's our report writer. You can make as many reports as you want. If there's a report that you no longer use, you can just press the red cross and it will just delete that report. So what we've gone through today is the stock check, animal movements, your herd register, which is where you can find your movement book, and also how you can create a report writer report. Are there any questions on what we've been through? Okay, brilliant. So we haven't got any questions. If you do need any help with the report writer, or if you're wondering, well, it's not working how you want it to, give us a call on our help desk phone number and we can go through it with you. That's not a problem.